Hello, dear students. I am Dr. Sanjay Pagar, Associate Professor, Department of Geography. I welcome all of you in this online lecture series on behalf of Maratha Vidya Prasarak Samajas, KRT Arts, BH Commerce, and AM Science, the popularly known as KTHM College Nasik. Dear student, today in this SYBSC's lecture of semester 3rd geography paper first, that is environmental geography. In last lecture, we are discussing the subtopic of first chapter, introduction of environmental geography. We had already discussed the subtopic like a meaning and definition of environmental geography, nature and scope of environmental geography, and significance of environmental geography. Today, in this lecture number 6, we are going to discuss next subtopic of our first chapter, that is type of environment. This topic we are going to cover in 2 lectures. So today in this lecture we are going to discuss the part first of this subtopic, that is type of environment. Dear student, you know that we already discussed about the what is environment. Environment is a source of life on the earth's surface. Environment that surrounds you or us and affect you during your lifetime called as an environment. The environment refers to our immediate surrounding in which all living and non-living components coexist. Environment means the sum of total condition which surrounds man at a given point in space and time. So this is about the environment. On the basis of various criteria, we can able to classify environment in various types. When we use the criteria, a specific criteria, that type, on the basis of that criteria, we can classify the specific type of environment. For example, we have first criteria, that is creation or the structure. On the basis of this criteria, we can classify environment into 2 types. That is, first is natural environment, or you can say it's a physical environment, and second is man-made environment. It is also known as the cultural environment. If we use the second criteria, that is biological condition, on the basis of biological condition, dear student, we can classify environment into the 2 types. That is the biotic environment and second is abiotic environment. If we use the another criteria, that is the physical state of that particular factor or the particular type of that particular things, then we can classify environment into the 3 types. The first is solid environment, second is liquid environment, and third is gaseous environment. So on the basis of these 3 criteria, that is the creation or the structure and the biological condition and physical state, we can able to classify environment into this all types. But today in this lecture, we are just going to discuss about the type of environment that are based on the creation, this criteria, that is natural environment and the man-made environment. In next lecture, we are going to discuss the remaining 2 criteria and the type of environment on the base on this criteria. So let us discuss about the type of environment on the first criteria, that is creation of the structure. And the first type of environment is natural environment. So you know that, dear student, this is the very important type of environment. The environment which is created by the nature itself is called as a natural environment. It means what? In the creation of this environment, the role of human being is null. There is no any participation of the human being in creation of this type of the environment. So this is the natural environment which is created by the nature itself. It includes the various subtypes of the factor of the environment. The first very important factor, that is the landforms or the physiography. On the basis of elevation, or you can say the altitude of that relief of the landforms, we can also classify the landform into the 3 subtypes that are included: mountains, plateau, and plains. The first is mountains. Mountain is a large landforms that rise above the surrounding land in a limited area. Mountains usually have a steep sloping sides and slightly rounded at the top. For example, we have mountains in India like Himalaya, Nilgiri, Aravalli, Sahyadri. Or throughout the world, we have various type of the mountains. It may be Rockies, Andes, Alps, and so many things. So these are the example of the mountains. Then second landform is the plateau. This is also very important part of the natural environment. Plateau is a moderately elevated land with a flat top surface. It is the extreme region of flat land, having height generally 300 to 600 meters. In case of mountain, we have a height of the mountains, so more than 600 meters. It may be in the thousands meter also. So this is about in India. Also, we have some example of the plateau. It means the Dakhan Plateau, Nagpur Plateau. Or in the world, we have this type of the example, the Brazil, the Tibetan Plateau, Brazil Plateau, and so many things. So many plateaus are available in the world. The last landform we have the plains. It is a broad area of relatively flat land having the altitude less than 300 meters. In India, we have the plain region that are created at the mouth region of the rivers like Ganga, the Godavari. And also, we have a lot of the important rivers and their plains in the world like Nile, Angatsika, Hoyango, Angatsika, Mississippi, and so many rivers are there. They prepare or they make various plain region specific their mouth at their mouth region. So this is about the landform. Second, we have the soil. Soil is a very important part of the natural environment. We can define the soil, the topmost layer of the earth surface in which plants can grow, consisting of the rock and the minerals particles mixed with decayed organic matter, is known as a soil. Soil is a mixture of minerals, dead and living organism, that is organic material, air and water. The soil is very important component of the nature, and especially it is very useful for the farming, or you can say the agriculture. It is support to all the productive plants on the surface. Then we have a very important another factor of the natural environment, that is climate. So climate is a description of the long-term factor of the weather in particular area. In other words, you can say that the climate is generalization of the weather condition over a long period of time. Climate includes the temperature, precipitation, or you can say the rainfall, winds, humidity, sunlight, air pressure, and so many things are part of the climate. We observe the various types of the climate on the Earth's surface. For example, in India, we have monsoon climate, whereas in Indonesia bears the equatorial climate. Also, we have in the tundra region, we have the cold climate, or in desert region, we have very hot climate. So this is about the climate, which is very important factor. It affects on the human being also, health of human being, or every part of the world. It may be the any type of the plants, any type of the crops, any types of the animals, birds, and everything. All these biotic factors are affected by the climatical condition. On the basis of if the climatical condition is suitable, then definitely these biotic factors are flourished in that particular area. But if the climates are very extremely very cold, very hot, then definitely it affects that particular biotic factor that are available in that particular area. So this is about the climate. Then we have a very important factor, that is forest. A forest is a large area of land that's covered in the tree. In other words, forest is a large area dominated by trees. Forests are very important for the all living things and also important for maintaining the ecological balance in the world. Forests are large biotic community. The forests are important to man. The forests are ecologically important because they reduce the atmospheric pollution. The trees absorb the carbon dioxide and release the oxygen in the atmosphere. And that oxygen is very useful for us. The forest can be classified into the different types such as evergreen forest, deciduous forest, alpine forest, temperate forests, and so many types of forest. So these forests play very important roles in ecological balance. Then we have the water bodies. The water bodies is very important for human being and the other living factors. What is water body? A body of the water or the water body is a significant accumulation of water generally on the planet surface like Earth's surface. So we have the water bodies such as lakes, sea, oceans, rivers, ponds are included in the water body, or these are the part of the water bodies. The water bodies plays a very important role in the function of the water cycle. Balance of all living organisms and ecology is depend on the availability of the water bodies. If the water bodies are available, then definitely the type of the environment is very suitable for flourish of the flora and fauna in that particular area. So water body plays a very important role in human life also. You know that the water is the life, not for the human being, but also for all the organisms that are present on the surface. Then we have a next part of the natural environment, that is minerals. So minerals are the natural substances which are found in the interior of the earth, homogeneous and naturally occurring substances with a definite internal structure. The minerals are very important for the human being. Minerals are classified on the basis of the crystals formation and the chemical property. The first type is that metallic minerals. It includes the iron ore and bauxite. These all the minerals that are the part of the metallic minerals are very important for the human being. For example, irons. The iron is the basic of the modern civilization. Iron is used for making various machineries, constructing the bus, trains, cars. It's a part and parcel of all industries. You know that without iron, hardly any industry can be worked. So whatever the industry we have in various parts of the world, we're using the iron ore as a raw material. So this is very important part of the natural environment. Then we have non-metallic minerals such as limestone, gypsum. These minerals are also very useful for the human being. For example, if you're talking about the limestone, it's a very important. It's the essential components of the cement. It's a very important for making the building material. It is also used in the product such as toothpaste, paint, and so many things. So these all the minerals are very useful for the human being. Then we have the next point of natural environment is animals and birds. So dear student, the animals and birds are very important components of the environment. The both are very useful for the human being for fulfill his various needs. Cattle, sheep, goats, horse, cows, buffaloes, and so many animals are play very important roles in life of the human being. Then we have the birds. Birds like a sparrow, crow, hens, ducks, eagles also play very important roles, especially in function of the ecosystem, especially like food webs, food chain. In this function, the role of all the animals and birds are very important. Therefore, it's known as it's considered as a most important, the vital part of the natural environment. Then we have the microorganism. Dear student, the microorganism means an organism that can be seen only through a microscope is known as the microorganism. The microorganism includes the bacteria, protozoa, algae, and the fungi. This all microorganism is very important. They play very important roles, especially in the ecosystem as a decomposer. They are relatively small in size, but with their contribution of balancing the ecological balance or in the environmental balance play a very important role. Especially I am talking about the ecology. In ecology, the role of this microorganism is very important. Therefore, this factor is known very important components of the natural environment. Dear student, these I have some photographs. They are the example of the microorganisms. Then the second type of the environment, that is the man-made environment, or it is also known as the cultural environment. Dear student, the man-made environment is the environment that is created by the human being with help of the natural environment is known as the man-made environment. The man-made environment also known as the cultural environment. Dear student, in this environment we have the various factors. The first is, or the part of the cultural environment we are going to discuss here. The first is settlement. The place where human lives by making the house is known as a settlement. There are generally two types of the main settlement, especially rural settlement and urban settlement. Both these settlements have subtype. If we are talking about the rural settlement, we have the subtype of the rural settlement like a scattered settlement, live-create settlement, composite settlement, and fragmented settlement. All the settlements have a definite shapes and size, and even the pattern also. The patterns such as the linear pattern, rectangular pattern, circular pattern, triangular pattern, star pattern, square pattern, and so many patterns we have available on the surface. So settlement is very important for the aspect of the culture environment. And each and every part of the worlds have a specific type of the settlement. Especially in ASEAN country, we have very dense settlement, whereas where the geographical condition or the climatic conditions very extreme in that region, we found the less numbers of settlement or the scattered settlement, or they are dispersed settlements. Then second important topic of the point of the cultural environment, that is the economic activity, or it is also known as the human occupation. Dear student, if you are talking about the what do we mean by the economic activity, it's very simple. The activity which are conducted or carried out by the human being to fulfill his various needs are known as the economic activity. Needs like it may be each and every human being require the food, require the shelter, require the cloth, and so many is daily needs. And for that purpose, to fulfill that needs, he conducted the various activities. These all activities are known as the economic activity, or it's also known as the human occupation. On the basis of nature of economic activity, we can also classify the economic activity in main four types. The first type is that the primary activity. The primary activity, the activity those are directly depend on the nature or the extracted from the nature are known as the primary activity. In agriculture, mining, fishery, hunting, these are all the ideal example of the primary activity. These all activities are specially controlled by the natural environment. So these are very important for human being. Especially the percentage of the most people are engaged in primary economic activity or observed in the African country, in ASEAN country. Comparatively, it is less in the developed country, or we are talking about the specific the European country and North American country. Here the percentage of engaged in the primary economic activities are very less. Comparatively, it is more in the developing and the underdeveloped countries. Then we have a second type of the economic activity, that is secondary economic activity. The activity which are obtain the products from primary activity and transfer them into the more useful form through the manufacturing are known as a secondary activity. It means all the manufacturing activity are the example of the secondary activity. For example, if we make a tea powder from the tea leaves, that is a part of the plantation agriculture. Then when we prepare the tea powder from the tea leaves, then it is known as a secondary activity. Same we can observe that we are making the sugar from the sugar cane. This is also example of the secondary activity. Means all the manufacturing activity is a part of the secondary activity. Then we have a third economic activity, that is tertiary economic activity. All the service providing activity are known as the tertiary economic activity. The main example of these activities are insurance, then transport, then communication and trade. All these things are the part of this all thing providing the service to the other economic activity or in the other sector. Then we have next is the quaternary activity. All the knowledge-based activity are known as the quaternary activity. For example, consultation, the financial planning, the research activity. These all are the example of the quaternary activity, dear student. So these all activities conducted or carried out by the human being to fulfill his various needs. Then we have a third very important part of the cultural environment or the man-made environment, that is transportation and communication. Transportation is the movement of the human or the goods carried out from one place to another place. For example, suppose we are carried some goods, some computer or something, some books from Nasik to Pune, from Nasik to Mumbai. So that is, it means when we transport any things, any goods from one place to another place, it may be the passenger also, it may be the human being also, then it is known as the transportation. Whereas there are many modes of transportation, such as air transportation, land, it means the road transportation and the railway transportation, water transportation, then pipeline transportation. So many things are the part of the transportation. Then second very important part of the cultural environment, that is communication. It's the exchange of the message from one place to another place. And dear student, you know that during last few years there is the drastic change in the modes and the means of the communication due to the internet facility. Today we have a very fast communication facility. So by using the internet, Gmail, WhatsApp, mobile phone and satellite signal, we can able to send message any part of the world within few seconds. So this is very important, and these both transport and communication play very important roles in human beings' lives. Then we have the social factor, a set of the beliefs, custom, traditional, science and technology that exist within the society surrounding affect the human being is known as the social environment. Social factor means social environment. It includes the tradition, literacy, development of science and technology, human skill, human efficiency, artificial intelligence, decision making ability, and so many things. On the basis of this type of the what type of the nature, the social structure, the social environment is available at the particular place, that affect on the economic development of that particular area. You know that in the most of the European country, or you can say the advanced country, the social environment is very good. I am talking about the human skill, I am talking about the development of science and technology, or the human efficiency. So this all affect the human being, the life of the human being. So therefore, it's a very important parts of the cultural environment. Then we have a next is a religion's factor or the religion's environment. This is also very important parts of the cultural environment. There are many religions are available in the world, like the Hindu, Islam, Buddha, Christian, Jain, Sikh, and so many things. And dear student, you know that every religion has its own philosophy, which impact greatly on their culture environment. Moral, value, literature of each relation greatly affect the culture environment that of that particular region. Therefore, it's a very important thing. It's a part of the cultural environment. Lastly, dear student, we have political factor. Different countries have the different government system and the policy, like a democracy government, republic government, communism government, autocracy government, and so many type of the government. Every government had its own working methods and the plans for welfare of the people, and this also affect on the particular on the human lives. So everywhere, if this political environment is very healthy, very good, it's a suitable or the favorable for the welfare of the people, then definitely that particular people, that community, that society develop much more as compared to other, where the political environment is not good. If it is not good, it's not working properly, they are not making plan and the decision properly, then definitely that affect on the development of that particular society, development of that particular region. And so therefore the political factor also very important factor of the cultural environment. So dear student, this is about we discuss about the type of environment on the base of the first criteria, that is the creation or structure. And dear student, in next lecture we are going to discuss the second part of this lecture, the type of environment, that we are going to discuss that criteria on the basis of biological condition and physical state. Still that lecture, goodbye, thank you.